Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I thank the Honorable Member for that question. Honorable Speaker, whenever leptospirosis, typhoid, and dengue is brought up in this Honorable House, I am pleased that we are raising the awareness on this endemic disease. This has been in Fiji for decades, and we can't run away from it. It's climate sensitive. We can't change our coordinates. We are locked in at the 180-degree meridian. And these climate-sensitive diseases will continue to be with us. And we need to continue to work together in, day out, to make sure that we are on top of it. I was talking to a colleague from the Caribbean last year, Honorable Speaker, and he said to me, and I believe it was Grenada, and I stand to be corrected, he said normally with dengue, they would have it within the 3 months during the rainy season. In the past 4 years, they've had dengue in, out for 4 years, because it was just absolutely just wet and rainy all throughout. And again, as I've said, I'm thankful that we are raising awareness about this. Honorable Speaker, the phenomenon of these disease outbreaks, as I've alluded to, is because they are climate sensitive. And naturally, we will have these cases, but instances of extreme weather event or natural disaster, the intensity and the magnitude increases the risk drastically. And studies have found that long-term climate warming tends to favor the geographic expansion of several infectious diseases, and the extreme weather events may help create the opportunities for more clustered disease outbreaks. TC and Tiziana brought damaging winds, storm surges, and volumes of rain that decimated and affected significant parts of the country. From a public health perspective, this means that the impact is creation of new breeding habitats for disease vectors. In addition, existing wash facilities were at risk, and this often can lead to damages such as the power supply, which often leads to deterioration of food quality and food spoilage. With TCASA, we recorded 207 cases of leptospirosis and 4 deaths, 505 cases of dengue fever with 1 death, 65 cases of typhoid and no deaths, and 3,019 cases of diarrheal diseases. In Tiziana, there were 332 cases of leptospirosis with 9 deaths, and 1,242 cases of dengue with 1 death, and 34 cases of typhoid with 1 death. Our ministry has been pre-positioning itself. So when the disasters were coming and we were meeting, we made sure that we actually pre-positioned not only in terms of our asset, but also in terms of our human resource, in having a FEMAT put into these places before the disaster actually struck, but also the WASH capabilities in readiness for when the disaster is finished. And our strategy is awareness and advocacy with the health teams, which constitute doctors and nurses and specialist staff from even the 3 main hospitals that have been deployed into the team. Mainstream media, social media, and as I've alluded to earlier, the FEMAT deployment, both before and after disaster. As you're aware, Honorable Speaker, 1 or 2 of the cyclones didn't actually follow the track that was intended. So we actually afterwards needed to actually reposition the FEMAT team that was on the ground. From a clinical perspective, the clinicians in these divisions have advised all the health facility professionals to have a low index of suspicion for persons presenting with symptoms such as fever, body ache, and headache. And they were also having line lists. So when a person actually came with these symptoms, and they were, for example, mild in nature, they wrote their name down, and they actually had their phone numbers. Whereas those that had moderate to severe were actually admitted into the health facility. And the next morning, they would actually call them or ask them to come back for review, and that's what we mean by a line list. Our infectious disease specialist physicians based at CWM Hospital continuously during this period, and up to now, do regular weekly lunch hour Zoom sessions with these clinicians in the periphery, and this has enabled continuous awareness of these diseases. To conclude, I urge all of us in this August House and members of the public that we should all be aware of the presence of this climate-sensitive disease in Fiji. We also have to recognize their proliferative outbreak levels, especially after natural disasters, that we all have a role to play in terms of source reduction. So we all have a role to play. We need to make sure that our surroundings are clean. We need to make sure that the crucibles that can contain water are overturned or put away, so that we can be able to get on top of it. And also when somebody is feeling sick at home, especially with leptospirosis with young men, when they are sick, then they need to actually go straight to the hospital as quickly as possible. Honourable Speaker, I want to finish by saying that there's also disconcerting that during this period we saw pictures of young children actually jumping into flooded rivers, jumping into drains. And you know, it's important to understand not only the risk of drowning, but by doing that, then they run a risk of getting leptospirosis and other climate-sensitive diseases. Thank you, Honourable Speaker.